Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to remove your front glass on a Honda Civic. And the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and open your door. And to do this job we're just going to need some pretty basic tools. I'll put a list of all the tools you need in the description below, as well as links of where you can get them. And the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to remove this door panel in order to access the window regulator. So what we're going to do is we need to pop this off by prying out on it. And you can use a flathead screwdriver, or I'm using a plastic pry trim tool. And we're just going to get under the edge here of the cap here and just pry up on the back. And once you get this back popped off, just go ahead and pull it back. And then there's a wire under here that connects it. And we just need to unplug it by pressing this little tab right there and then pulling out on the plug. And then we're just going to remove the screw right here using a Phillips screwdriver. And then we're going to open this door handle here on the interior, and there's this little tab right there we need to pry out on it, and then kind of push the cap out. And behind there is a Phillips screw that needs to come out, and then also a clip. So first we're going to take our Phillips screwdriver and come underneath the handle and remove the screw. And then this clip, all we have to do right now with this clip is just take a small flathead and we're just going to press the center, and the center will push back about 1/8 of an inch, and we're just going to leave it like that for now, and it'll make sense later when we get back to that clip. And now we're going to take a wide plastic pry tool and we're going to put it between the door panel and the door itself, and there's clips that are along this door panel that hold it to the door. And we're going to use this to pop the clips out and just kind of go around the door panel, get all the clips popped out. So we're going to start here on the bottom. Just work our way around. And then from here, all the clips along here are loose, and the only part that is still holding on is this top edge. It's just kind of laying on the door, so you can tell that it's pivoting from up top there. And once we get all these clips loose, that's when this clip here will either fall out, so you got to keep an eye out for it, or it'll just kind of work its way out, and then you can go ahead and take your fingers and just grab it. And the reason we do that is when you push the center in, it's hard to try to pry it out while the door panel is still secured on the door. Once you pop it off, then it comes out. But just for a future note, when you go to put this back in, when you get the door panel all secured and you're ready to put your screws back in, that's when you're going to want to put this clip in. And to put it back in, you're going to push it out like this. And you want to press this in first, and then press the center in, and then just push it flush. And then once it's flush, then it's secured back in. Alright, so now let's get this door panel off the door. We're just going to pick up on the door panel. And now we have to go in behind the door panel to get this interior door handle off. And to do that, we need to release these tabs right here. And there's one behind here that hold this handle to the door panel. So I'm just going to use a small flathead and push out on the door handle. And it helps when you're doing this if you put a little bit of pressure on it with your other hand. And again, there's one in behind here, so you kind of have to just come in behind like that. Push on those. Push on this back one, and then just push it through the door. So I'm pressing it through the door towards the outside, and then once it's out, you want to pull on it, and then once it's loose, twist it, and then feed it back through the door. And now the handle's loose from the door panel. now we got the door panel off. And now we're going to have to peel back this vapor barrier. You can remove the whole vapor barrier if you want, or you can just peel it partially down and kind of just let it hang at the bottom. For this video, I'm probably going to take it all the way off just to make it easier for filming and everything. But you do what you want. First thing we're going to have to do though is to just unplug this wire here, push this tab right here and unplug it. That way we can slip the vapor barrier over this wire. And then I'm going to pop these caps off here on the end. Just get your fingers in behind them and pull out on them. And same with this cap here. And then I'm just going to pull out on the vapor barrier. And sometimes this black stuff here, sometimes it'll stay on the door panel, sometimes it'll come off on the plastic, or sometimes it'll be a little bit on both. It can be pretty messy, so try not to get your arms and stuff in it. If it's not one to give away, as easy as this is for me, if it's one to kind of hang on, you can't pull it, you can cut it with just like a disposable razor blade. Just as you're pulling on it, just kind of cut the black stuff only, and try to leave some on the door and some on the plastic. And this razor blade will just slice right through it, especially if you're putting pressure on the plastic while you're doing it. But usually it just pulls off pretty easy like this. If you do get this all over you, on your arms, or your hands, or your tools, or anything, you can use coconut oil or olive oil and just put it on a paper towel and then rub it on your arms or your tools, and it will take this black stuff right off. And then I'm just going to slip my wire through the hole, and then as well as my door handle. Alright, so the barrier is off. And now we're going to want to go ahead and plug this back in. And I like to just take it and wrap it around this interior door handle here and then plug it back in. And the reason I do that is it pulls that door handle off to the side and keeps it out of the way, so while we're working it's not swinging around here and just getting in our way. And then we're going to take our window control unit and go ahead and plug it back in. And then we're going to turn our car onto accessory mode. That just means turn the key forward. You don't have to completely start the car, just turn it forward. And you'll hear it beep a couple of times. And right now it's on accessory mode. And the reason we do that is so we can move our window. And you want to move it down about right here so we can get access to both of these bolts. And next we're going to remove these bolts using a 10mm socket, a extension, and a 1/4 inch ratchet. And now we're going to go on to the other side of the door, and we're going to pull the glass out. Take the glass and we're going to tilt it forward towards the front of the car and just pull up on it. And it slips right out. And the glass is out. And then when you go to put it back in, you want to start with the front corner of the glass, so the side of the glass facing the front of the vehicle, and you want to make sure to get that corner inside of that rubber run channel first. And then once that's in the run channel, you want to bring your back corner down and then make sure it lines up with the run channel, and then get it seated in there. And then once they're both in the run channels, you should be able to just pull up on it and push down on it as if the window regulator is the one pushing it up and down, and it should flow pretty smoothly. And you just want to lower it all the way down until it stops. And if it's running up and down in your channel kind of rough, now would be the time when the glass is completely out. Now would be the time to take a rag and maybe like a plastic pry tool or something, and get it inside here and just clean all the grime and stuff out of both channels and really get it cleaned up so it moves nicely. You can even spray a little bit of WD-40 down in there just to get it nice and conditioned and lubed up on both sides. So now we'll go around to the inside and we'll get the window bolted back in. And this is how the glass should be setting. It should be setting in behind this white piece, and you should be able to see both holes where the bolts go in. Sometimes when you slide it down, it'll get caught on top of here or something, so you just want to make sure you guide it down in behind there and you can see both holes. So we're going to start the bolts by hand, and you're going to want to start both sides. Just get them started before you tighten anything down. Alright, get them started, and then give your glass just a little bit of a wiggle, and that'll kind of get it settled where the track wants the glass to be, because these holes are oblong, which means there is some adjustment in them. So that's why I just like to give the glass a little bit of a wiggle and make sure they're set. And now we're going to tighten them down. And now go ahead and make sure your car is on accessory mode still. And we are going to go ahead and just going to run the glass up. And you just want to make sure it's functioning properly. And once it is, we're going to go ahead and take this control unit back off, as well as unplug this. And then we'll go ahead and put our plastic back on. So you just want to remember to feed everything back through that we took through the plastic initially. So the handle, and then also this wire here on the side. And then we can go ahead and just plug this wire back in to hold it up. And also this wire right here. And then the adhesive will stick back on itself. And a good frame of reference of where it needs to be is you want to line up this hole here in the corner with this hole right here. That's where that plastic plug goes. So line that up, and then go ahead and start pressing the black adhesive back on. And same with this side. I'm going to line this hole up and then start pressing it on. Then we'll go ahead and get these plastic clips snapped back in on both sides. And then from here, you just want to put your door panel back on. Just start by slipping it onto the top. Slip the door panel back on. And then you want to make sure to feed this through the hole of the door panel. Feed it through, and then twist it, and then it just snaps in. And also make sure to plug your window control unit back in once your door panel is on. You just press it in to get all these to clip back in. If you have clips still stuck on the door, sometimes they stay on the door and don't come off with the door panel, you can just use a clip tool and just pop these clips off. Pop them off and then slide them back into your door panel before snapping it back in. But basically just follow the instructions to take it off in reverse order to get everything buttoned back up. But that's it, guys. That's how you remove your glass. Thanks for watching.